Hello everyone, welcome. Dunia hi laws of motion chapter continuation to hi inclined plane ibolo hindin. Masapena previous video chu friction ibolo na contact force chu thum hiza chilela chu normal hiza tension hiza chu le friction hi chu thum chu bona hi ichewita na to hi inclined plane hi chu thum ho chu na combine ahong ki ban phat le itabong ma question hung kisim thiam hi chu se vet deun inclined plane concept ibolo na chu hung hindin aban le hi chi video ka bolo hi masanga chu ka sei khalo mai the za ai wangai cho hi particularly medical exam hi lo le engineering exam ma ki gong hoding na ama hoding level ka bola hin. So if you are currently preparing for any competitive exam no hoding so this will be very good. Okay, abana chu class 11 12 simlai ho 11 12 simlai ho ding azong board exam hitata ailole. So if you are preparing for future competitive exam, so these are specifically for you. Okay, so we'll jump into the topic. Inclined plane what is inclined plane? See, horizontal plane. So this is a horizontal plane. Okay, so if I tilt it, okay, so if I start rotating this one by some angle, okay, suppose I start rotating this plane, horizontal plane by angle theta. So now I will have an inclined plane. Okay, so this is an inclined plane. So along with the horizontal, it will make some angle. Na kien cho kien zang azang hilo na kien. So this is an inclined plane. Okay. Ho de let's try inclined plane nga basic term basic akya haman ho apai modi ho video. Suppose I have a block. Suppose first let's see an inclined plane with no friction. Okay, frictionless. That means a smooth. Okay, or you can say frictionless. See, inclined plane ahi box khar ka koya la chun. Okay, if I put a box mass m, so what will be the free body diagram? Mass m chu ma mg chu hoila ngam tha. Mg is always downward na, mg chu gravity chula. So mg is always downward. Okay, and then what else do you have? So contact surface value, so now it is slanting. Okay, so it is inclined, so your contact surface should always be perpendicular to the the surface. Okay, kutile chile contact surface is na kutile normal to perpendicular. Okay, so this should be your normal. Okay, I will draw here normal. So do you have any other forces? A plane to smooth a here friction na. So here so these are basically the two forces. Okay, so next sign convention batang horizontal achu sign convention to tipo. So we use the regular coordinate system, right? So like this. Okay, so x and y. Okay, positive xy, positive x, positive y. About previous video dong so question khalani bonlan so kai apply ta so here. So if the whole thing started rotating, okay, so then the xy coordinate also starts rotating. Okay, hechi pa hi tang a plane pa hi theta a ki rotate chulana. So that means this whole thing will also rotate by theta. Okay, so it will be something like this, angle theta. So this will be x, this will be y. So xy will be like this. Okay, x and y. Kutile xy hit ya ma le na, x chilanga ma, y chilanga ma le chun mg pa he veo chun mg pa he x langa zong umtalo, y langa zong umtalo chun na. So so the mg, so the weight of the block is neither along x nor y. Okay, so that means we have to take component of this one. Na. So I have to take component of mg. So here angle kan la dan beta. So some of the things you have to remember. Okay, so pen hit theta he le chun. So I'm going to split this mg into two components. So one component along this side, another component along this side, right? So here, see, if this is theta, okay, I will draw one line here. So then this is theta. Okay, so this is 90. So this is 90 minus theta. Okay, again, this will become theta because this is also 90. Okay, if you add these two, you should get 90. Okay, I'll repeat again. So here, assuming gaji the ring he inclined plane chi theta na chi pen theta. So if I draw a parallel with the horizontal, so this will be theta. Okay, so I will draw another line. So now you see, so this is 90. Okay, so therefore, so this angle will be 90 minus theta. Okay, so now I have one more line like this along this side. Okay, let's say line here perpendicular. Okay, so that means what will be this angle? So this angle has to be again theta. As it's 90 minus tohin theta hin yet valachun, so it should give you 90, right? Okay, so therefore, so this is theta. Kutele chilang pa hi mz cos theta hong hiding nang khalang pa khu mz sin theta. Okay, you have to remember this. Inclined plane questions also, na. So in most of the question, so mz cos theta, mz sin theta will always be like this. Okay, anui lang so inclined plane along the inclined plane hi mz sin theta omding perpendicular to inclined plane achu mz cos theta omde. Okay, so remember this one. Kutel ji free body diagram da chula na jala him. Ale inclined plane here full smooth here la chun. So the block is going to slide down. Okay. So the block is going to slide down. So let's say it slides down with acceleration A. Okay, acceleration A. Right, so now let's write some equation. Okay, first equation, let's write along the fx equals to max. Okay, right, as you show x langa hi pha chi x chulana japan x is x langa hi value chun chi. Okay, it is moving along the x. So the block is moving along the x axis. This is acceleration omna chala hi ax ka ji cho. Kutele force to ppm. So I have mz sin theta which is towards the negative side, right? Chilang hi plus x hele mz sin theta chulang khalanga am chala. So that means it is minus. So minus mz sin theta force dang mam law na. So this should be equals to m into acceleration ko ha. So this side is positive, so a is along the negative side. Okay, so minus a. So that means mm gets cancelled out. Minus z sin theta should be equals to minus a. So minus minus gets cancelled out. Acceleration jarang param. So therefore a is equals to z sin theta. Okay. So this is z sin theta. Inclined plane is smooth down here, na. So if you want, you can remember this value. Okay, acceleration will always be z sin theta. Okay. Question tang hichi nyo ho na melchi wala problem solve na, so it will save you some time. Okay. Kutele y langa equation. So along the y, so will you have any motion? Block by value chuna ki also chula na. Its motion is only along the x-axis. Okay. So there is no motion along the y-axis. Na block pa chu x-axis lang mo siya hi ta hi kitol so chala. Okay, so there is no net movement along the y, which means that the net force along the y is 0. Okay, so net force along the y is 0. Net force should be ha. I have normal. Okay, plus I have minus mz cos theta. So this should be equals to 0. Mz cos theta chu negative y lang chi chula na. Okay, so here what do you have n? So n becomes mz cos theta. Normal force so na chipeni direct question ng gitong siso. Okay, remember, so the normal force will be mz cos theta. Okay, smooth inclined plane na. So na melchi dun so you have to so at least remember this too. Okay, acceleration will be z sin theta and the normal force will be mz cos theta. Okay, so now let's see if the inclined plane has a friction. So I will draw another inclined plane here. Okay, so let's say at an angle theta. So I have a block. Okay, block mass m is here. So now let's say it has friction. So mu is here. Okay, mu so the surface is rough, right? So it is a friction. It has friction. So first let's draw the free body diagram of that mass. So similarly, you have mz downwards. Okay, I can split this mz into mz sin theta and mz cos theta. Okay, so here you have theta. So in all of the questions, you'll have mz sin theta along the plane and mz cos theta perpendicular to the plane. Okay, so remember that one. So normal so normal should be along this side. Okay, to friction so see, the whole thing is trying to move downwards. Okay, to prevent this, friction has to act upwards, right? So that means I will have friction along this side. So F. Okay. Also open to smooth na smooth as a friction low is that his rough surface I friction so you have additional force F, small f is here. Okay, so now let's write the force equations. First, along the y. Along the y, that is what? 0. Now, as it's a movement of the it will only be along the x. Okay. So therefore, along the y is 0. So along the y, I have n. So minus mg cos theta. So this should be equals to 0. So n equals to mg cos theta. So this is the same. Okay. Normal for pasu ki bang na khutela to hi along the x-axis. Okay, but question chila hi chini ki dong thai chu ama sa pena chu if the block is sliding down with acceleration a. Okay, chu chu ma sa pen ha and the second chu if the block is not sliding down as you just surface so rough chala na, so rough ahila chun there is a chance that the block will stay at rest. Okay, so if the question also block at rest haokipiit, so that means along the x also the friction force, the dead force is 0. Okay, if the block is at rest, if the block is going down with acceleration a, so along the x there will be max. Okay, so that is the only difference now. So here first let's see if the block is at rest. Let's assume the block is at rest. Okay, if block is at rest, so that means the block is not sliding. Okay, so block is not sliding. Here's the condition ahi equation ga ziote. Okay, tol halwala son fx also 0. Na fx also 0. So the net force along the horizontal also 0. Kute let's say ppm force horizontal ahi. I have see what was the sign convention. So this was our sign convention. Okay. Chirang ahi positive x, achung lang ahi positive y. Na khotele athang lang hi left lang hi minus x. Okay, so that means mg sin theta is minus x. Okay, along minus x. So minus mg sin theta plus friction force pa khochung lang chula na. Okay, so plus f. So this should be equals to 0. You don't have any other force. Okay, net force is 0 because the block is at rest. Khotele mg sin theta pa hi zilanga transfer la chun f is equals to mg sin theta. Khutile friction force formula chupita mu n chulana, mu n equals to mg sin theta. So from equation 1 n hui bha mg cos theta chulana. So I have mu into mg cos theta. So this should be equals to mg sin theta. Khutile mg cancel out, right? So here if I transfer cos on the right side, so mu should be equals to sin theta divided by cos theta. Sin by cos to 10 theta. So this is 10 theta. Okay. So here I get one relation. So from here, mu is equals to 10 theta. Okay. Or theta equals to what? 10 inverse of mu. So what is theta equals to 10 inverse of mu? Okay, this is the condition. Okay, this is the condition for no sliding. Okay, theta equals to 10 inverse mu. Mu jung kipidin na. So mu will be given. So here they can give you these two, and then they will ask you whether the block will slide or not. Okay, suppose I give you some random values like theta equals to, let's say 37 degree. Okay, so mu equals to 3 by 4. Question: so will the block slide down? Okay, also them. Left hand side to 37 kanay na. Right hand side to 10 inverse of what? 3 by 4. So what is 10 inverse of 3 by 4? I have 37. Okay. So you can see the left hand side equals to right hand side, right? So that means the block will stay at rest. Okay. So that is one uses of this one. Theta equals to 10 inverse of mu. Okay. So remember that one. If the block starts sliding down, you simply apply the force equation. Okay. Fx equals to max, right? And then keep on solving there. So that is how you do it. Okay. I have shown you two examples where you have a friction, where you don't have any friction, right? Friction so these two are some points you can remember. So the important thing is how you draw these things. Okay. So how you identify all the forces. So you will have normal force, you have mg cos theta, you have mg sin theta. Okay. And then you have Same thing, N, mg cos theta, mg sin theta, and then friction force. Okay, so these things you have to keep in mind, right? Okay, so now let's solve some questions. First question from HCV. Consider the situation shown in the figure. All the surfaces are frictionless. Okay, so we have a question of frictionless. Everything is smooth. So the string and the pulley are light. Find the magnitude of acceleration of the two blocks. Okay. Kutele. So here, see 3, 4, 5 kp question ahi. Question angle kp here is 3, 4, 5 na. So indirectly they are giving you the angle. Okay. 3, 4, 5 umpalasan pipita. So this is 53 and this is 37. Okay. Kutele block tani hui lang achi de. So will they go like this or will they go the other way in this direction? Let's find out. Okay. Must happen in free body diagrams it out there. So here I have the same tension. Okay. So the two blocks are connected by a same string. So if they will have the same tension. So let's write here T. Okay. So here T. Balance 1 kg pa free body diagram itabang de ha 1 kg veilanga pa he. So remember here I have what mg sine is that 53 na ji. Okay, so this inclined plane you see angle is 53. For this one I will have here mg sine 53. Okay, abana chu okay achung lang ako pm de achung lang ako tension na abana chu 1 kg block pa ko lang khala ngazi lang pa ko 1 kg. So here I have tension on the left side. On the right side what do I have? mg sine 37. To he chong hi inclined plane chumle da chu chi tilai theta om na tilai block omal ji pen hi mg sine theta. Okay, kutila sign convention chu ti bol diu ham. So see, if you take the sign convention like this, okay, xy kutila chalai par hatani ke hewa hi 90 degree ni ke chula na around 90 degree. So that means the whole thing will also rotate by 90 degree. So you'll have x along this side and then y along this side. Okay, sign convention so na kutila tension question chun pi do acceleration ado chula na. So let's assume that the whole thing is moving along this side with acceleration a. Okay, veilanga 1 kg pa chi so a zilanga 1 kg pa ko chi tau na. So now we just have to write the force equation. Okay, so on the left side, so I have mg sine 53 is at the m to 1 na, z to 10, sine 53 to 4 by 5. Okay, so this is how much? 8 Newton. 5 1 is 5, 5 2 are 10. Abana zilang pa ko la. So 1 into 10 into sine 37 to 3 by 5. 5 2 are 10, 3 2 are 6 Newton. Okay. Kutele veilanga pa hi force equation jitaute. Sign convention chu, so it is like this. Okay. Kutele zilang cc chu plus, veilang cc chu minus. Okay, so you will have T plus minus A should be equals to 1 kg into minus A. As is A veilanga chi chula na. Abana A Newton pa jong hi veilanga om na. So how much will you have here? So T minus 8 equals to minus A. Okay, let's say this is equation 1. Abana zilanga pa ko sign convention chu piham chi pen hi. So it is like this. So this is x, this is y. Na chilang hi plus x chung long hu minus x. Kutile 6 Newton hu plus na minus T should be equals to 1 into minus A. A pa hi veilanga am chala na chala hi. So that means I will have 6 minus T equals to minus A. Okay, so number 2. Kutile 1 to 2 hi plus leuchun. So equation 1 plus equation 2. Ipidi ha. So plus T to minus T to cancel out. Remaining to piham. So minus 8 plus 6 should be equals to minus A minus A. Okay. So minus 2 should be equals to minus 2 into A. So cancel out. So what do you have? So here A equals to 1 meter per second square. Okay, so this is the acceleration. Okay, moving on. I have another question from HCV. Chilahi 50 gram, 100 gram to 500 gram gepina. Block thomum hiza. Block masate nahi ki string ke banga ki connect cho achate nahi. So same string. I have one same string here. Okay, so that means I have two different strings. So the whole thing is frictionless. Okay, if nothing is given, so it is frictionless. Let's say T1 T2. So let's say this is T1. T2. Okay, this is T2. So you draw the free body diagram. 50 gram pa draw masalaw. Okay, so I have 50 gram. Okay, let's write everything in kg na. 50 grams is adha. So 50 gram is 0.5 0.05 kg. Okay. Abana to 500 grams to 0.5 kg. Abana 100 grams to 0.1 kg. Okay. Kutele 0.05 pa hi 0.05 into 10 na. Weight so. Abana chung nga hu T1. Okay. Abana to 0.1 pa hu 0.1 chu chilang hi mg sin theta amdena. Theta to 30 chula. So that means mg. So 0.1 into 10 into piha sin 30. Okay, mg sin 30. Abana chung nga hu T2. Okay. Kutile 500 gram pa hu 0.5 kg pa hu anu lang hi mg. So 0.5 into 10 achung nga hu T2. Kutile the whole system hina hui lang kitol them. So let's say this is pulling down. Okay, so so all of them are going like this, right? So all of them are connected, so they will all have the same acceleration. Let's say acceleration e chi sua acceleration e chi toa ban acceleration e chi tau. Okay, so now let's write the force equation. Masapena hi piha sign convention ti bolyo ha. So here see 100 gram pa na. So if I take like this, right? So khat pa hi, so it should be like this, right? And then 0.5 pa hi, it should be okay xy like this, right? Hichi pa hi, so now you're going and turning. Okay, so that means this whole thing will rotate here. Okay, now you're going and turning again, so it should rotate again to get this. Okay, xy pa paile lelejon. Okay. So we are doing this because everything, see, all of these are connected. Okay, abon aki connect sila na. Abon aki connect ja sign convention rule ka imano nga ito. Okay. So let's write the force equation. Masapa ko atung lang plus. Kutila T1, okay, minus 0.5 should be equals to 0.05 into A. Okay. Tipen hi equation 1 na. Abana chu piha 0.1 kg pa ko 0.1 kg pa ko T2 minus sin 30 to 0.5 should be equals to 0.1 into A. Okay, equation number 2. So this one, see this whole thing, if you solve, you'll get 0.5. Okay, you try it. Abana chu third block pa ko anuy ng plus na. So that means 0.5 into 10 is 5 minus T2 should be equals to 0.5 into A. Okay, equation 3. Okay, so now you add all of this. Okay, here one thing I'll block lai pa na tension T1 nalai chu lang. So on the left side you should have T1. Okay, so that means I have to write here what is this? So T2 minus T1 minus 0.5. Okay. Okay, so now you add all of this equation 1 plus equation 2 plus equation 3. Is that ham? So plus T1 minus T1 0, T2 minus T2 cancel out. Okay. Remaining 2. So minus 0.5 minus 0.5 plus 5 should be equals to 0.05A plus 0.1A plus 0.5A. 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.5 so minus 1 na. Minus 1 plus 5 so 4. So equals to zila nga hezat diha. Decimal bola na na. So 0.05, okay, 0.1, so 0.5, you have 0. How much? 65. Okay, So right side I have 0.65a, right? Or a is at the 4 divided by 0.65, so which is 400 divided by 65. Okay. See, whenever you have decimal, okay, so remove that decimal. So here I have 4 divided by 0.65. Now 0.65, so see, after the point I have 2 digits. Okay, so that means I can write this whole thing as 65 into 10 power minus 2. Okay, so this 10 power minus 2 will go upside. I will have 10 power plus 2. So 10 power plus 2 so 100 in. So 4 into 100 is 400. Okay, so this is 400 divided by 65. So 5 1 is 5, 5 3 are 15, 5 8 are 40. So the answer is how much? 80 by 13 meter per second square. Okay, so this is your acceleration. Question chun acceleration on the na. Okay. Okay, so let's solve some more. Okay, actual competitive exam na. So first we have a GMains 2025 question. Question chun pi do ham. Cubic block. Okay, you have a block mass m is sliding down inclined plane of 60 degree. Inclination on kipi na. Acceleration on kipi. So acceleration is given as z by 2. Okay, so what is the value of coefficient of kinetic friction? Betang inclined plane tayo ma. Inclination angle so sa kipiam 60 degree kipi na. Kutile tsara hi block so. Okay, block mass m ma. Coefficient of friction mu chu ado so ki hello na Japan here. Kutile utang sliding down with acceleration on kipi so say. Let's say this is a is given as z by 2. Okay. Kutile utang free body diagram so draw so if you have understood it. Okay, you don't have to draw the free body diagram again and again. Namilchi usula pipita force also. So this side I have mz. Okay, sine 60, right? So this side I have mz cos 60, right? So this side I have normal. Okay, I also have friction force, that is mu n. Okay, I'll write here f, and it is going down by acceleration g by 2. Okay, kutile Betang movement hina, movement hi alhang pe achu silang horizontal ngan chang hi ja chu we usually write only the fx equation. Okay, fy lang an mlc do chu n is equals to mz cos theta. Okay, so that is true in most of the equations na. So you have to know that n is equals to mz cos theta. Kutile along the x achu equation ga jute. So fx equals to m ax. Okay, force sign convention to ha. So it is like this, x and y. Z lang CC2. So everything on this side is plus, everything on this side is minus. F to plus chula na. F. Okay, I will use the blue color. F equals to F plus minus mz sine 60 to ha. So minus mz sine 60. Okay, so this would be equals to m into minus z by 2. Z by 2 zong hi veilang a chi chu chula na veilang ko chula sign convention ni man chu. So friction force pe ha mu into n. Okay, so mu into n. So here see f is mu into n, abana n chu pe ha mz cos 60 chula na Japan hi. Okay, so cos 60 chu pe ham, so 1 by 2, so you'll have mz mu mz by 2. So this is the friction force. Okay, kutila friction force mu mz by 2 minus sine 60 to be root 3 by 2. So root 3 mz by 2. So this is equals to minus mz by 2. PP cancel. So 2 to cancel out. M gets cancelled out. Z gets cancelled out. Remaining to PP ma. So here I have mu. Okay, minus root 3. So this is equals to minus 1. Root 3 ko khula transfer leochun. So root 3 minus 1. This coefficient of kinetic friction. Okay, right? So what is the answer? D. Okay, abana a 2 kg brick. Okay, 2 kg brick slides over an inclined plane angle 45 kPa. Coefficient of static friction. Okay, Kuti let's say heavy level acceleration ki pilo bi chula na la. So here even though they say slides over, so think of this as at rest. Okay, kasi you have an inclined plane like this. Okay, so inclination to 45 degree. Okay, balance so blocks with ma block 2 kz friction 2 so mu s. Okay, balance so acceleration keep na, so that means you have to think this as rest. Static friction is static so static is possible only if the block is at rest. Okay, kuti la chilai question ahi block pa hi chang lo chu kitol lo. Okay, azo azo question kitol so na lai block pa hi kitol so is chizi acho chilai mu pa hi, so here the mu is mu k. Okay, so here the block is at rest, it is not moving. A move lo alison pi ki dong question acho coefficient of friction mu do so na. Okay, so what will be the answer? Let's solve. Block 2 kz silang ahi mz, so mz is 20 sine 45. Okay, silang ahi mz cos 45 chunanga friction, so that is let's say f. Okay, I have normal along this side, right? So in most cases normal is equals to mz cos theta, right? So the friction force is at the friction force, so mu s into n. Mu s into n should be 20 cos 45 to 1 by root 2. So that means mu s into 10 root 2. Okay, right? Chilahi 20 pa 10 into 2, so that 22 into 1 by root 2. So root 2 on cancellation chilahi root 2 left, so you have 10 root 2. Okay, force equation is now. So along the x, okay, along the x net force is 0. There is no movement, static is na. So along the x, so fx equals to 0. Sign convention to be so x and y. So here f is positive plus minus 20 sine 45. Okay, so this should be equals to 0. Nah, kutele silai pala f to pita. So mu s into 10 root 2 should be equals to zero transformation. So 20 into sine 45 to 1 by root 2. Okay, so mu s into 10 root 2 divided equals to so here this whole thing is also 2 into 10. Okay, so divided by root 2, so root 2 can cancel, so root 2 into 10 is left. Okay, kutele silahi, so 10 root 2. Okay, so this cancel out. Mu s is what? Mu s is 1. Abana, you have another Z-mains question na. But medical exam prepare no Matthew, so you may think that why are we solving Z-mains question? Okay, but a level here na so you have a NEET level. Okay, so just above NEET level you have Z-mains. Okay, so NEET exam question answer na. If they want to make the NEET question difficult, so they are going to set at the level of Z-mains. Okay, medical exam you have to solve Z-mains question. Okay, so some Z-mains question will be very tough, you don't have to solve. Okay, but normal level so these things you have to solve it. Okay, as per given figure, a weightless pulley P is attached to a double inclined frictionless surface. The tension in the string will be tension on the so if you see, I have two blocks. Okay, block 10 hi string ki connect so same string ki connect so that means I have to take what? Same tension. I'll take T, so I'll take T. Okay, free body diagram zilachon. Okay, I think by now you should be very familiar with the free body diagram for inclined plane. Okay, silang PM mz sine 60 chulan. So the mz is what? 40 sine 60. Okay, so along this side I have 40 cos 60. Okay, so along this side I have end, right? Friction so frictionless surface. Okay, there is no friction. So on the right side I have tension. Abana khat pahu mz to 10 sine 30. Okay, na chila angle he chila inclined plane pa. Okay, sine 30 achung langa hu tension T, right? So what else do you have? So mg cos 10 cos 30, and then you have normal. So n2 n1. Okay. Kutile chi kitol so this na frictionless om here la chun huilanga kitol them. So 4 kg pa gi zo chula. Let's say it is going along this side. Okay. So we'll give him some acceleration. Let's say 4 kg is moving by a acceleration, and then the other one is coming with a acceleration. Okay, hotela sign convention to piham. So let's say this is x, y. Okay, therefore this will be x, y. Nah, so you have to rotate it. Okay. Masapena hi 4 kg 4 equation hi piham. So we'll write only along the x. Okay, so fx equals to max. Fx to piham t pa hai positive na. So this t is positive, this is negative, this is negative. Khudila t plus minus 40 sine 60 to piham root 3 by 2. Okay. So this should be equals to 4 into minus a. Okay. Which is at the ham. So t minus 20 root 3 should be equals to minus 4a. Okay, equation number 1. Abana 1 kg block pa hi. Let's say fx equals to max. First equation horizontal na. Along the x-axis akatina. Kutile chila hi value hichilang pa hi plus chula na. So that means this is plus, t is minus, acceleration is also minus. Kutile 10 sine 30 to 1 by 2 minus t should be equals to 1 kg into minus a. Okay, acceleration a. So 2 5 are 10. So I have 5 minus t equals to minus a. Okay, equation 2. Kutile equation 1 to equation 2 hi question be do ham tension ado na. See, one way to do is you can multiply this whole thing by 4. Okay, multiply by 4 bole chun chila hi bia minus 4a hung po do na. Chila jong hi minus 4a umza. So now you subtract these two equations, so these two will get cancelled out. Okay. Now that is one way of doing. Another way of doing is then here plus ball 1 to 2 here plus ball acceleration po do na. So some value of a will come out. You put that value here, you'll get t. Aban ball dan na khatuna chila hi value minus a value hi minus a value hi 5 minus t chula na. So therefore here you can write 4 into minus a, and in place of minus a you can put these things. Okay. So let's do it like that na. Kutila chila hi. So t minus 20 into root 3 equals to 4 into minus a. So here I can write these things as 4 into minus a. Okay. Minus a here. So I can write 5 minus t. Right? Let's solve lesson being body. So t minus 20 root 3 should be equals to 4 5 are 20 minus 4t. Okay. T hi velang ako velang 20 root 3 hozila transfer lesson. So I will have 5t should be equals to, so 20 plus 20 root 3. Right, so how much is this? 5t equals to 21 plus root 3. 20 common na. 5 1 is 5, 5 4 are 20. So therefore tension is how much? So tension is equals to 4 1 plus, this will have 4 bracket 4 plus 4 root 3. Okay, so this is your answer. Which you have 4 plus 4 root 3 too. Okay, so here I think the option D. Okay, it's like 4. So this is a mistake. Okay, so option B and these are same. So I will have here 4 root 3 plus 4. Okay, so that is your answer. Okay, a Banyan medical exam question also solved. So I have a block here. Question to have block of 2 kg is given, inclined rough surface, mu zong kpina 1 by root 3. So coefficient of friction mu is given. So the net force on the block will be. So you have to find out the net force. Okay. Free body diagram ga azilauchun. So I have a 2 kg block. Okay. So this side I have how much? 20 mg sine 30. So 20 sine 30. Okay. So this side I have 20 cos 30. Right. So upside I have normal, okay, and then I have friction force along the side. So that have mu n, okay, so that means F. Kutile vertical lang ahi net force 0 at na perpendicular to the plane, okay. Kutile normal so pita normal so 20 cos 30, so which is 20 into so root 3 by 2, so which is 10 root 3, right? Kutile friction force so that them friction force so mu into n, so this is how much, so mu is 1 by root 3 into n2 10 root 3, so root 3 gets cancelled out, so friction force is 10. Okay, so here I have friction force equals to 10 Newton. Abana so 20 sine 30 is that, huh? So 20 sine 30 is 20 into sine 30 to 1 by 2. So this is also 10 Newton. Okay, so I have found that here also you have 10 Newton. Kutile, betul. Acung lang ahi 10 Newton umjala na. Nui lang acung 10 Newton umjala. So both are equal and opposite, so they get cancelled out. So what is the net force? So net force is 0. Okay. Right, otherwise you can do that one, force equation. So along the fx, what is the forces? So I have plus x along this side, okay. So I will have here force is friction force minus what 20 sine 30. So I'm finding out the net force, okay. So friction force is 10, 20 sine 30 is 10, so this is equals to 0. Okay, option B. Okay, next another medical exam question 2024. So a box of 5 kg is pulled by cord up a frictionless inclined plane. Okay, 30-degree kipina inclination too. So this is 30 degree. So frictionless means mu equals to 0. Okay, so I have a block here. So this is 5 kg pulled by cord too. So it is being pulled by something. So let's say this is some tension is here. Okay. Then what is the acceleration of the block? Kutile chipen hin chito na kikai tau tinen. So let's say A is the acceleration. Kutile free body diagram so pideham. So here I have 5 kg. So along this side I have mg sine 30. So that means 50 sine 30. Okay. So along this side I have tension T and then acceleration A. Okay. So I have to find out A, tension to kpm. Okay, so the tension in the cord is given as 30, right? So that means this is 30 Newton. So simply use the force equation Fx equals to max. Psi convention to pitam. So this is x. So this is y, right? So I have 30 minus 50 sine 30. So this should be equals to mass is 5 into acceleration is a. Okay, so 30 minus 50 into sine 30 to 1 by 2. So this is 5 into a. So 25. Okay, so from here 30 minus 25 is equals to 5 into a. 30 minus 25 to become 5 equals to 5 into a. So what is the value of a? So a to 1 meter per second square. Okay, so option D. Okay, next question from 2022. So here you have 3 blocks. Okay, angles 30 kPa. Normal reaction between 2 kg and 1 kg. Okay, so surface is smooth. Surface is smooth arena. So one thing you have to know is all of them will move together. Okay, so same acceleration, all of them will move together. So that means if I consider all of this as a single block, okay, so 3 plus 2 plus 1 so 6 kg. So I have 6 kg. So 6 kg silang ay pm diha. Okay, what are the additional forces? Silang ay 16 Newton uma. Okay, silang ay pm. So 18 Newton uma. Right, 6 kg uma. So 6 kg so silang ay mg sine 30 umdena silang ay. Okay, so frictionless, you don't have anything else. So required forces. Kutila silang ay sign convention na. So x and y. So let's say it is going down with acceleration a. Kutila a na holo masat penungay ding. So fx equals to max. Right, so I have what 60 is positive towards plus x. So minus 18 ko negative. bana chu 60 sin 30 zong negative na 60 sin 30 chu pm 60 into 1 by 2, so that means 30. Okay, so 30 is also negative, so this is equals to 6 into a. Let's see that, so 630 30 minus so that is 12 na, so 12 equals to 6a, so therefore a equals to 2 meter per second square. Okay, so here acceleration is evaluation plus 2 meter per second square na ham. So this means that the acceleration is upwards. Okay, actually the whole thing is going upwards with 2 meter per second square. Okay, right? So now I'm going to draw the 1 kg block here. Okay, 1 kg block here. So here along this side I have 18 Newton, right? And then what else? Along this side I have mg sine 30, mg sine theta. So mg to 10 sine 30 to 1 by 2, so which is 5 Newton. Okay, additional so here 1 kg to 2 kg ka hi normal force chala hi. So you'll have normal on 2 due to 1 and normal on 1 due to 2. Okay, so I will have here normal on 1 due to 2 and acceleration so here. So now it is going 2 meter per second square upward direction. As you sign convention why is positive chala here. Abana final answer a evaluation positive plus 2 hong pot chala. So plus 2 means acceleration is upwards. Okay, so remember that point. Kutile to ahi force equation relation. So fx equals to max, right? So I have n on 1 due to 2 is positive, minus 18 to negative, minus 5 also negative. So this is equals to 1 into acceleration to 2. So n on 1 due to 2 minus 23 equals to 2. Kutile n on 1 due to 2 to pm, so 25 Newton. Okay, so what is the answer? 25 Newton. Now n on 1 due to 2 to pm normal between 1 kg and 2 kg. Okay. Okay, next one. So Siemens question na. So the reason why I'm doing this, okay, so this year you have one one inclined plane question on NEET, okay, on NEET 2025 2, na. So this looks very difficult. Okay, so you have to see that this question is asked this year 2, na Japan here 2025 ke dongza hiji concept pa hai na. So Siemens 2023 ke dongza da. Okay, it has already been asked. So it is the same question. Okay, I will show you. So this is why I tell you. So even if you're preparing for a medical exam, you have to solve Siemens previous year's question. Okay. Abona hilaw na. Adito Siemens question khalanihi, so they are very high level. Okay, you can skip those things. 2025 medical exam questions evaluation. So the physics questions are very tough. Okay, so Siemens levels and hina. So if you solve these things, I think it will help you. Okay. So let's see the question. Question the time taken by object to slide down 45-degree rough inclined plane is n times it takes to slide down perfectly smooth, okay, perfectly smooth 45-degree inclined plane. The coefficient of kinetic friction between the two objects is between the object and the inclined plane. Rough surface are coefficient of kinetic friction. See, I have two inclined plane. Okay, so both of them are inclined at 45-degree. So like this. Okay, 45-degree. Hichipahi smooth. Okay, this one is completely smooth, but this is rough. So rough means it has some value of mu. Okay, question mu. So here I have object. You can take a block if you want. Okay, I have a block here. So mass m. Mass is not required. Okay. Okay. Kutile chilahi pita. Force equation is so right, the force equation here. See, what is happening here? So it is going to slide down. Okay, so if you release these two, release the ball also, so they are going to slide down. So this is also going to slide down. So let's say the time taken by this block on the rough surface, okay, on the rough surface to go from here to here, let's say this is T1, right? So to go from here to here, let's say this is T2, right? So this is what we assume. Okay, so to go from here to here, let's say time is T1. Let's say this is T2. Okay, hotele masapena chu block hi vilauchun block ahi ppm mass m na leuchun chilanga hi mg. Okay, sine 45, that means mg by root 2. Okay, right? Rough idea cho chung lai friction force na chilang hai pia mg cos 45 to 1 by root 2. Okay, so along the side I have normal and then I have friction. Okay, kutele friction chu zat biham mu into n. So mu into n chu piha mg divided by root 2. Okay, kutele acceleration chu zat diham chala here. So here I can write fx equals to max. Okay, for the rough surface. Kutele sign convention chu chula na x y kutele minus mg by root 2. Okay, chala ya mg sin theta pa hai na. Plus friction force ko chung lang za mu mg divided by root 2 should be equals to mass into acceleration. Okay, I want to find out acceleration. Kutele chala hi relation. So mg gets mm gets cancelled out. Okay, mm gets cancelled out. So what do you have? I can take out z by root 2 common. Z by root 2. Okay, so I will have here minus 1 plus mu equals to a. Okay, or a chu piha a chu, so z by root 2 into mu minus 1. Okay, equation number 1 tiute chi pahe. Right, kutila smooth surface apa ho diagram ga zi lechun. So let's say this is the smooth surface, mass m chilanga hi mg sin 45, so mg by root 2. Okay, chilanga hi mg cos 45, so again mg by root 2. Right, so chilanga hi normal. Kutila, let's say this comes down by a2. Right, masa pa so a1 tiute. Oh, chepa hi a1. Right, abana pa hi a2 tiute. Force equation ga zi lechun abana pen hi. Okay, so if I write the force equation here, so fx equals to max, right? Kutila chila hi force to piha minus mg by root 2 should be equals to m into a2 na. Kutila a2 chu jan humponam a2 chu, so I have z by root 2. Okay, equation number 2. Kutila force equation chu, see I have see this is x, right? So this is x chu ki bang chula chin distance pa chu na. So this is t1, this is t1. Kutila kinematic equation chu piha x equals to ut plus half at square na. If both of them are starting from rest, chipa term hi 0 hingai chu. Okay, so x should be equals to half at square na. Kutile force equation kinematic equation chu masa pena chu x equals to half into a1 into t square. Half into a1 chu pita, so z by root 2 into mu minus 1 into t1 square. Okay, abana second equation chu smooth surface apa chu a2 into t square na chi half into minus z by 2 kutila minus chu polang pod ore na, so half into minus z by root 2 into pita t2 square. Okay, right, kutila chila hi bata. So here it says the time taken by object to slide down rough path to t1 into chula na. So t1 is equals to n times of smooth surface asu t2. Okay, this is given. Kutile square bole t1 square is equals to n square into t2 square. Okay, right? Kutile chila hina. So you divide this two, you'll get x gets cancelled out. Okay, so half z z by root 2 gets cancelled out. Final is our pot there. So I will have here 1 equals to, so mu minus 1 into t1 square divided by, so minus minus t2 square. Kutile achung apar ako, sila par hai bilachun t1 khilahu 1 equals to mu minus 1 into n square into t2 square divided by minus t2 square. T2 square gets cancelled out, right? Minus by Vela transfer lesson minus 1 by n square equals to mu minus 1. Okay, kutila mu chu zan humponam mu equals to 1 minus 1 by n square. Okay, right? Answer to A. Okay. See, normal method here velocity, it is a very lengthy. Okay, the question pa hai na, so it is very lengthy. At the spot example like solve the lesson, it will take a lot of time. Okay, so if you have remembered this value 1 minus 1 by n square, see, jika solve na here 2025 NEET question. So why is this lengthy? So you look at the question, it is exactly the same thing. So two inclined surface. Okay, So angle inclination 45. So one of them is rough, the other is smooth, right? So a body takes 2 times as much as to slide down the rough surface on the smooth surface. Okay, so coefficient of mu. Okay, what is the answer? Answer jo pida. So direct application. So mu was what? 1 minus 1 by n square. So 1 minus 1 by n chujan ha. Should I 2 times kiti chura na? 2 square. So that means 1 minus 1 by 4. So which is 3 by 4. 0.75. Examination hall na. So this is a medical exam question. Okay. Previous 1-2 years question so they are like a formula based question. So you put the formula there, you put the values, use the formula, you'll get the answer. Normal method part, so you have seen the normal method na. So it is a very lengthy process. Okay, it is very lengthy process. You should have remembered this. Okay, it's in remember na gyaldo. So here to solve this, it will take how much? Minimum 4-5 minutes. Okay, you don't have that much in a medical exam. Okay, so see the reason why I'm doing this is you have to solve Z-means previous year question. Okay, if you are NEET exam bolding Z-means na. So in both the cases, so both exams are conducted by NTA. Okay, this is also medical exam bol honjong Z-means question solved. Okay, so that is very important. So here example so this is a very lengthy Z-means question. So the final answer is important. Okay, so the final answer you have to apply it here. Not in NEET 2025 question. So the formula mu equals to 1 minus n square, you have to put it here. Okay. Okay, so that much for this video. Friction inclined plane video na. So we have solved many questions. Inclined plane basics we have even applied those basics in solving previous year's question. Okay. So I hope you understand. Video hi thum li boloi ta na loss of motion hi to hi momentum to impulse ki vat hai. So we will do that in the next video. Okay. So I hope you understand. I hope these things will help you. Okay, it clears your concept, right? So we'll end the video here. Okay, so thank you for watching.